Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into something pretty amazing, how artificial intelligence is taking one of India's biggest headaches, I'm talking about waste management, and turning it into a massive source of clean energy and, yeah, wealth. So how on earth does that actually work? Let's get into it. Okay, so picture this. Every single year, India generates a mountain of organic waste. I mean, a literal mountain. But what if we've been looking at this all wrong? What if it's not a liability? What if, instead, it's an untapped goldmine of energy, just sitting there waiting for the right key to unlock it all? And here's where it gets tricky. This is the paradox. The solution, biogas plants, they already exist all over the country. But the reality on the ground? A huge number of them are basically just dead. They're suffering from what the experts call functional obsolescence, which is really just a fancy way of saying they're physically there, but they don't actually do anything. They just don't work. So that brings us right into our first section, India's Great Biogas Paradox. You've got this incredible potential on one side and just widespread systemic failure on the other. And the big question is, why? What is going on here? Well, think of a biogas digester as a living thing. It's like a really sensitive stomach. It's a complex, delicate ecosystem. The problem is, for the folks running these plants, it's a complete black box. They're just shoving waste in one end and kind of hoping for the best, with absolutely zero visibility into what's actually happening inside. And when you're flying blind like that, you get biological disasters. The number one culprit is something called acidosis. Basically, it's a sudden, catastrophic crash in the pH levels that just completely wipes out the good bacteria, the ones you need to make the methane. It's a total system failure that means a full, expensive, and weeks-long restart from scratch. The other major killer? Feedstock contamination. So you're basically feeding that sensitive stomach all the wrong things. Stuff like plastics and glass, they physically clog up the works. But even worse is getting the nutrient mix wrong, an imbalanced carbon to nitrogen ratio, which literally poisons the entire biological process from the inside out. So it all boils down to that old saying from the computer world, right? Garbage in, garbage out. It applies perfectly here. The quality of the energy you get out is directly, and I mean unforgivingly, determined by the quality of the waste you put in. There are absolutely no shortcuts. And this garbage in, garbage out problem, it's not just some technical issue. For the rural entrepreneurs who've bet their life savings on these things, the economic consequences are just devastating. It completely erases their already paper-thin profit margins, it forces them into these costly emergency repairs, and it makes banks look at these projects as high risk, which just chokes off the loans they need to build and expand. But what if you could take all that guesswork, all that risk, and just get rid of it? So in our second section, let's look at the solution, giving biogas a brain. And it's all thanks to a technology called the GreenFuel Intelligence System, or GFIS. Okay, so this GreenFuel Intelligence System, GFIS, it basically gives that black box a full set of digital senses. First, you've got IoT sensors that act as its senses, constantly checking the internal temperature and the pH. Second, computer vision acts as its eyes, analyzing every single bit of waste that comes in, looking for contaminants. And third, a predictive AI engine is the brain. It takes all that data, forecasts how much gas you're going to get, and this is the game changer. It warns you about potential failures days before they can even happen. And the result is a total transformation. I mean, you're going from a passive, unpredictable, super high-risk system to an intelligent, self-regulating one. You're not just reacting to disasters after they strike, you're actually preventing them. You're shifting from that expensive breakdown maintenance to smart, proactive, predictive maintenance. It's a whole new ballgame. So what does all this intelligence actually mean in the real world, in dollars and cents? Well, that brings us to Section 3, From Waste to Wealth, where we look at the actual tangible results. All right, first up, the main product itself. By keeping that biological process in perfect harmony, GFIS is aiming for a 15 to 20% increase in biogas yield. It's simple, right? More gas from the exact same amount of waste means more revenue. It's pure profit. Next up, let's talk about efficiency. Because the AI can see problems coming, operators can step in and prevent those system crashes altogether. The result? A 30% cut in operational downtime. That means the plant is up and running and earning money way more of the time. Okay, now let's zoom out. Let's think big picture, national scale. If you were to take this GFIS technology and roll it out to the thousands of potential sites across India, what's the potential prize?
How about a staggering 24.8 billion rupees every single year? That's the scale of the opportunity we're talking about here.
But what's really, really clever about this system is that it unlocks completely new ways to make money. It's not just about selling more gas. See, the system can actually verify the quality of the organic manure that's left over, turning a waste byproduct into a valuable second product. And because it tracks every single cubic meter of methane captured, it creates a rock-solid data trail you can use to sell valuable carbon credits on the open market.
So let's just sum up the impact here. We're talking more yield, less downtime, brand new revenue streams, and just way better profitability overall. But maybe the biggest one of all is the environmental one, a potential reduction of over 40,000 tons of CO2 equivalent per year. That's huge.
But look, the vision here goes way beyond just fixing individual plants one by one. In our final section, we're going to look at the future of all this, and it's something called an Internet of Biogas. The grand vision, the really big idea, is to connect thousands of these newly intelligent, decentralized biogas plants into a single national network. This isn't just a collection of little sites anymore. It's a coordinated, intelligent energy asset for the entire country. And a network like that could function as a massive virtual power plant. Think about it. By adding up the predictable, forecasted output from thousands of small rural plants, you suddenly create a large-scale, stable, and reliable energy source that can actually be fed into the national grid. You're literally turning scattered waste into a unified national power source. Which leaves us with one last, pretty fascinating question. We started with waste, right? We used it to make energy. Then we use the byproduct as fertilizer to grow more crops, which in turn creates more organic waste. With an AI brain managing that whole loop, could this be the technology that finally gives us the operating system for a truly circular economy? Definitely some food for thought. Thanks for tuning in.